What up? It's Chad Kerley. We're in Brooklyn, New York right now. Thanks for submitting your questions to Cinema Take 5. I'm about to answer them. Let's get it. Cool, so first question, what made you start riding? What made me start riding was I took my training wheels off and I started just loving my bike. My dad made me this little ramp out front of the house and I would just ride around the block, hit it. There was something about the bike, once I started touching it, I couldn't stop. Being like so young, my preschool teacher suggested that I go to the racetrack because their kids did it. So my parents brought me to the racetrack and man, it was a wrap after that. Like the track was where I was at all the time. And I loved the track too because I was able to jump. It wasn't like I was trying to be on the track to like race and be fast. At first, all I cared about was just jumping these jumps and it was like dirt jumps to me. Yeah, I just raced. I raced for a long time and then, yeah, I continued, man, just kept riding. It's a genuine love, that's what I would say. I just never stopped, I love it. All right, next question. Cinema trips or Haro trips? Which is like, it's hard, you can't really, knock one or the other. But for me, I really love going on cinema trips because the crew just pushes me. Like I'm with like these street riders that are like on top of their game. Unreal feeling of just progression the whole time. And I wouldn't say Haro isn't like that. Haro's the same way. It's just a different family, like the cinema squad is like a group of street warriors and the Haro squad is a group of kind of like well-rounded riders in everything, park, street, flatland, everything. And they're the homies, that's family. But I feel like cinema trips for me and what I focus on, it just pushes me, man. And I love cinema trips so much. Like we get to go to places that I've wanted to hit, like Denver, we're gonna go to Detroit and just hit cities where we stay and spend a lot of time, at least a couple weeks. That's just styled. I just got off of a Haro trip in Lisbon that was like 10 days long too, which was really fun. And it kind of reminded me of that same vibe, just being in the streets. So there's like a lot of things that are similar about it, but I would just say like the fact that the cinema crew has like all these like raw street riders, especially the ones I've been looking up to for so long, and it just pushes me. Next question, are Flaming Hot Cheetos the secret to being pro? That's like, it's definitely not the secret to being pro, but it's something that I guess on being on a road trip, you need a snack like that, and that's just my snack of choice. I just be munching on hot Cheetos. I don't know why. It's like, I've been eating them since I was younger or whatever, but like, I don't know, you just need a snack to keep you going sometimes, and that's just like my snack of choice. But if you eat too many, like, I'll try a trick and I'm out of breath and you feel that burn in your chest, that's the only down part of it. It would be burning your chest when you eat too many hot Cheetos, but that's like my favorite snack.
Cinema videos always got Cheetos in them. It's part of a road trip right here.
It ain't the secret to being pro, but it's the secret to keeping me going. You know what I mean? When I'm on these trips, I be having some hot Cheeto sessions, so I'm good. So, yeah. The next question is, how old were you when you learned your first bar spin? And I think I was like 12, 13. It was like right when I quit racing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna really be out here. And I would just throw it. And I was probably 12, and the bike would land first, and then my hands would come on, or it was just sketchy. But I always knew it was something I wanted to do because the bar spin looked cool to me. It was like a trick that I was like, I wanted to pursue that trick because I knew how sick it looked, and I wanted to get that. And I never really got too discouraged, but at times I did because I didn't know how to catch it in the air. I know a lot of kids out there have that problem and don't ever get discouraged because my bar spins come around now. You have to go through that process. But I remember learning how to catch it in the air. And that was like when that's when it started taking off for me. Because then when I catch it in the air, I could actually learn to do it down the street at my house off the ledge finally, because I could catch it and not be scared to, mess my fingers up or the bike lands first or something weird. So I kind of took baby steps, I would do fakie bars on a bank, a small little bank, and let the bike land. And I would never put myself in a situation where I was doing a bar spin that wasn't my level yet because I couldn't catch it. So I've always put it in weird little spots. I'd throw it off a feeble bar and just huck it because it was only, the bench was only so tall and I wouldn't get too hurt. But once I learned how to catch it in the air, it was a wrap for me because that was like my favorite trick. I do it all the time, so. Yeah. So the next question is, what was your favorite trip you went on for riding and why? The first thing that always pops into my head are all the memories we've made with the Market Zero DVD. And we just went on so many trips and drove that RV around and it broke down. We had all these crazy experiences and stories to tell forever. Or when we get older, we're gonna sit back and just talk about it. Like, remember this, remember that? It's just like a time when we all had the time to get together, because now market kind of had split. Like people get, older and life hits and people stop riding. But at the time, everyone was all focused on riding and getting it. and we would all just go in, and those were all my favorite trips. I'd say like the Barcelona one especially. Even though it sucked Dennis wasn't there, I was like the one bummer because he was hurt, and we really wanted him to be out there, obviously, to be in Barcelona. It was like the last big bang of the trip to be out there for like 2 weeks. And we stayed in an apartment, and it was sick. There was a hammock on the balcony, and there's so many spots, man. Barcelona is so fun. And that was probably the last time I went there too. I like went there for an X Games and stayed longer, the extra 2 weeks on the market trip or something like that. And I had went there kind of in mind knowing I wanted to do that nose manual, the banger that I got in the market video. I had even went there kind of knowing that that nose manual I wanted to do was there too, because I think Aiken had manualed it back in the day, or somebody manualed it back in the day, and I just known there was a spot at least I want to check out just to see if I could nose manual it, if it was possible or what. And just like the whole trip was just amazing. Like it was the first time for me really filming like a full length part like that. And so that's just like something I'm gonna cherish forever and hold with me forever, the rest of my life. Thank you guys for submitting questions on Cinema Take 5. I really enjoyed answering them. It was fun, you guys showed a lot of love. So I'm out, man. We'll go ride the city.